Scout has no crutches.
He said it! He said it!
I searched high and low online for even the most minor complaints about any of Scout's weapons post-Jungle Inferno, and I barely found anything at all. The results were a grand total of a single complaint about Bonk being a crutch, somehow, and about 3 people calling the Force of Nature a crutch. That is it. Not much to work with for the start of this series, but that's what happens when you decide to do it in class order instead of most to least. Now, I'm sure you know what the Force of Nature is. Be honest, you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't. But if you've been hiding away deep inside a Hungarian alchemist dungeon since February 23rd of 2009, I'll refresh your memory. The Force of Nature is a primary weapon for Scout. Its exact stats say 50% faster firing speed, knockback on the target and shooter, 20% more bullets per shot, minus 10% damage penalty, minus 66% clip size. This weapon reloads its entire clip at once. Now, this is mostly true, but like with a lot of weapons in TF2, there's a bit more going on behind the scenes here. See, despite claiming to do 10% less damage compared to stock, the Force of Nature actually does more damage. 1.08 times more damage according to the wiki. The reasons for this is because the Force of Nature fires more pellets, and has a 175% higher damage ramp-up compared to stock. Although the stock scattergun will still have a higher DPS due to having a much bigger clip. The knockback effect this weapon has also can be used for mobility, allowing you to reach places you normally otherwise couldn't. The faster firing speed, alongside the increased damage and more forgiving accuracy, makes the Force of Nature a powerful tool in Scout's arsenal, converting him from the best duelist class into a solid pick class. So after everything I've said, you're probably wondering, Wyrm, you incredibly intelligent and handsome individual, how is this weapon a crutch? And the answer is, I don't know! Seriously, I did so much research into this, and what very few complaints I could find about this weapon never gave their reasonings onto how or why it's a crutch. But it did teach me a very valuable lesson. The TF2 community has no idea what a crutch is. Now, to me, a crutch is a weapon that helps teach players an important aspect of a class or playstyle, by making it easier to perform said playstyle, at the cost of it being less efficient than stock. For example, the Rocket and Sticky Jumper, or the Sydney Sleeper. The most I could find about the Force of Nature being a quote-unquote crutch is that people are annoyed by the knockback and excuse themselves getting owned by it because it becomes easier to land the second meat shot compared to stock. Ignoring the fact that if the scout in question was using stock, he could just shoot you a third time and get the same result.
You're doing good, lad!
I don't know, man. The TF2 community really loves calling any weapon they find annoying to deal with a crutch. And while I think the Force of Nature is a good and solid side grade to the scattergun, if you want to shake up the gameplay of Scout a little bit, I really don't see that as a crutch. Like, at all. If anything, it would be the complete opposite of a crutch, since if someone who isn't as good at Scout were to use the weapon, the knockback feature would actually make it harder for them to aim and get kills. Looking all throughout Scout's kit, I couldn't find any that classify as crutches, nor any that the community universally agrees on being a crutch. Now, not every class is going to be Sniper and be buried with crutches, but Scout might honestly be the only class with no crutch at all. There is a couple of classes I'll be talking about later who have no objective crutch, but at least have a couple weapons that'll make you go, maybe. Thanks for watching. This was only part 1 in a 9-parter series talking about TF2's crutch weapons, and as you could guess, will be one video for each class. Then maybe I'll just stitch them all together in one big super video later. There wasn't really much for me to talk about in this one, since as the title suggests, Scout doesn't have any crutches. Now, does this mean Scout is the highest skill ceiling class in the game? Oh, absolutely not, no. It just shows he has no tutorial or training wheels like weapons to speak of. But what else can you expect from the guy with no good melees, no bad secondaries, and 6 primaries where the absolute worst one is just whatever? Anyway, I'm sure I'll have a lot more to talk about in the next one, especially about everyone's favorite primary weapon.